What is going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a good day. I'm going to probably make this a fairly quick show and just talk through a little bit about what I'm doing on this slate. I changed a few things of the projections, and I'm just running the Sims right now and going to upload it and go from there. I'm going to be doing a lot of late swapping. This is a good late swap slate. Obviously, a lot of games to go through. Um, but look, I'm not playing a ton of lineups, and with the lottery being a big one today, I'm sort of content to like let it cook, and I'm just gonna late swap at all my opportunities anyway. So I'm not gonna be changing much. The one thing I did do is I took out everybody in this. Unfortunately, it's a desirable game, but there's so many other games in the slate, and there is some serious weather concern in Cincinnati. I mean, it's a good spot to attack if you're willing to take on a little bit of risk. I think it makes some sense, but I am personally Xing it out, and that's just where it's at. I will, if something new comes up in the next hour and a half before the game starts, that's that. But for right now, I'm going to get these in so I don't have dummy lineups in there, and I'll go from there after I'm done. Feel free to pop in any thoughts or questions or anything, because like I said, I'm not going to be here very long. I'm just going to do a quick one today, and we'll go from there. Let me just load this. See, this is what happens when it's. I got to figure something out because my computer is just going so slow these days. Let me make sure it worked. Um, and just so you guys know, sort of what the results are coming from. Like I said, I changed a couple of the projections, and I ended up with a decent amount of Baltimore, who is my favorite. Is that Baltimore? I keep wanting to say Oakland, the Baltimore Athletics game. You're going to have some ownership there, so you have to deal with that a little bit. But because there's a Coors game, it'll offset that a little bit. And there's plenty of ways to get different within your stacks, et cetera, et cetera. The Mets are going to be obviously clearly the chalkiest team on the board, so we are not going to be heavily invested in them. Let me just see what I have of them as 5-man stacks. I don't have that's that. I don't mind the Met stacks as I just don't want the 5-mans. I got one person, one lineup. That's fine. I'll leave one. But in general, that would be the one thing I did not want 5-man stacks of, just because it's a little too popular. But sort of content with what I'm getting right now. Baltimore, Seattle. I like the Seattle matchup. Then again, the Mets are mostly going to be, as you can see for the 5-man stacks, that's mostly Baltimore, Seattle, Toronto. Toronto is one I didn't clock with when I first thought about this slate. We'll see how it goes. I don't entirely get it. I guess it's just a little bit contrarianness. But I'm going to let it cook, and I'm going to, again, be rerunning and late swapping. Remember, people do not late swap in baseball. You're not taking advantage of the tools. You really, really should be late swapping anytime you get a chance. Good to see you, D Pope. We're going to just refresh this and see as the lineups come in. And that's again, with baseball, it's always tough because there's not really a lot to talk about. You know what I mean? What it is. It is what it is. Like we already know what's happening. I'm just going to rerun these things again. Once I know what I'm doing, it's pretty straightforward. So it's not a whole lot to go through. Skubal is my favorite pitcher for what it's worth. After that, I don't mind some shots on Ben Brown. I think Schwellenbach is probably my next favorite. But I don't really love the pitching today. You can see there's not like a incredible projections here for any of these guys. It's pretty clearly Skubal far and away. Goldie, I lowered Senga's projection down to Goldie's range just because I thought it made a little bit more sense. I lowered Sonny Gray down a little bit because I thought it made some sense also. Obviously, a high risk matchup against the Dodgers. So that's sort of it. That's sort of what I'm doing today. On FanDuel, I built one lineup, and it's a stack of the A's and Baltimore. Pretty much simple as that. D-Pope's playing light slate only, no 5-mans for me, and like some Kremer. Yeah, Kremer, I mean, look, it's fine to take some shots. We know the Oakland has the boom-bust offense. They strike out, but they also, I mean, again, I'm picking on Kremer tonight, but I understand it if you want to go that direction. Yeah, so not a whole lot else to go through. I'll make these shows a little bit longer in general, but it is kind of hard with baseball when it gets to this time of the summer to talk through a whole bunch of stuff, especially after, most days we do the first look as well. This is the one day we just couldn't do it. But I will be back doing that starting on Monday. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. Good luck to everyone's night in your tournaments. And again, this is sort of where I'm at right now, and I don't think I'm going to be changing much. Baltimore. Now I'm getting some Boston, which I actually like the Boston idea a little bit. I did think about that when I was hand building earlier. Same thing with I think San Diego also has some merit. So I'm kind of stoked to see what I'm getting over here, and I'm gonna, like I said, be late swapping. So my final what I have in the end may not be at all what resembles what I have now. Boy, what a game last night. That thing was crazy. I took a big gamble on taking the Matherin shots last night. I think I'm still going to keep doing it as long as he stays cheap, just because there's so much upside. But man, it was not my night for DFS, but it was really fun, and my Pacers are a little bit closer. Have a great weekend, D-Pope. Have a great weekend to everybody else, and good luck in your tournaments tonight. Just a reminder, this is what I've got for my pitchers. It's going to be mostly pretty heavy with the chalk on Scooble, and then kind of spread out a little bit after that. Yeah, I guess I did get to some Kremer, a little more than I thought I was going to. I don't. Yeah, I feel like that. I think it's worth taking. Look, I don't have a strong take after Scooble being clearly number one. I think everybody else is in a very similar category, so I don't mind taking one who's a little bit lower owned. All right, guys. Good luck tonight, and good luck throughout the weekend. Good luck. I hope your golf lineups are doing. I have some great lineups going, but the guys like Johnny Kiefer and Luke Clanton are going to keep me out of getting the 6 of 6s. So probably not going to be my big golf weekend.